Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This is Game of Thrones Season 8, a preview cast of some sort. We're going to be talking today, continuing our character breakdowns. And today, this is the one I've been looking forward to the least. I have to admit, we'll get into this in a little while, but today we're going to be talking about Euron Greyjoy and really begging the question of how much do we care? And I'm not alone. Let me introduce everybody. Let's get into this thing because I just want to start. We got Joe Dirty Locks. Hey, Joe Dirty Locks. And especially, more importantly, I love you, Joe, but we got the live motherfucking chat. We got Hendrix, we got Hannibal, we got Broke, we got Mike, we got Dog, we got Jasmine, we've got Chrissy, we've got Laura, we got all sorts of awesome friends joining us tonight. And whenever you happen to be checking this out, whether it be the audio podcast or if you're listening to this on YouTube, definitely comment away and let us know what you think of Euron Greyjoy. Are we idiots in what we think? Sell us on him.
Yes.
Because that's really what we want. So let me get into this quickly and break this down. So we're going through each character. I already did the Cersei one a little while ago, which was a lot of fun. But I thought it was excessive talking about every little thing that she did. So we're going into the next character, and this one, it happens to be Euron. And Joe, out of all the characters, this was the one I'm least looking forward to. Right before we started tonight, I was feeling kind of shitty. I was like, oh, God, I don't really... I want to talk to all these people that are in the live motherfucking chat. I don't really have a lot of good things to say about television. And we're going to be talking specifically about television Euron for people that know.
Urine.
TV Euron. What worked about Euron? What smells right? Is it too yellow? Like, what's going on? No, but I don't want to make this all about, shitty casting, shitty writing about Euron. I kind of want to get into what could have worked. So we're going to look back and listen to all of the Euron scenes, pretty much all of them from the since he's been on the show. Go through that, listen to it, try to see whatever. But maybe this is the roast of Euron Greyjoy. Oh, Joe, you're looking good. You look like a horse's ass today on the dais. And we're gonna go over to Euron with your guy liner, looking like an asshole. What are your Ragnar Lothbrok's testicles turd? What the fuck? No. So
I don't even know if I have anything in me to roast about him. He's just such a non-impact, waste of time.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, all of that shit in the books too, all the Greyjoy shit in the books, I thought was
Joe, this is kind of why I picked you for this one, even though you're my all the time co-host. But I've been bringing in, or I want to bring in some other people for some of these character ones. I know how much you hate the Greyjoys, even in the books. You're not a big Greyjoy fan, so maybe you weren't the best person to pick. But I'm glad that you're here. But I kind of am curious. Did the show betray the character, or is it all just shitty casting and poor writing? For me, I think it's a little bit more the show.
It's much more okay. So the material from the books, of course, was much better than the material from the show. And part of what they got wrong about Euron in the show was all of the surrounding stuff that takes place in the Greyjoy camp. You lose a lot of that stuff. You lose what depth Greyjoy has.
Yeah, and because the show abandoned the Greyjoys at a certain point in time, you couldn't build this character up. So instead, he comes off like a last inning enemy that needs to come up simply. Okay, when we started to do this,
simply to add to
other people's stories. Yeah, other people's stories. And someone said, I posted this and I posted the question, if you want to defend television show Euron, please leave a message. And we do have a voicemail and a text line right now, 781-990-8509. Also the live motherfucking chat. I'll be taking comments from there as well. But if people like TV Euron and you think that Joe and I are way off base or anybody else is, let us know. We'd love to hear. And one of the comments that we got, and I'll get the name later, was he's going to be important to Theon's story in his final redemption.
Oh, what the fuck does that, come on. Here's the thing. How is it that important to Theon's final redemption? Okay, so maybe something big is going to happen and he's going to stop him. But ultimately, Theon's redemption really doesn't have much to do with anyone but Theon.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that in the Theon cast, but I do think it just creates another enemy or adversary for Theon to battle instead of a well-developed character. And because the show abandoned the Greyjoys for so long and didn't introduce Euron soon enough, because we'll get into the casting, we'll get into some of the line reads, we'll get into some of the stuff, but watching back before doing this podcast, all of his scenes to prepare here, I got to admit, sometimes the lines, the dialogue as written just from a simple comedic standpoint is somewhat comical. In the final scene in the dragon pit, and we'll break this down, when he's just, even though it's a play, when he just goes, you know, I'm the fuck out of here, bye. Or when he's like whispering into Jaime's ear, you know, Cersei likes the finger in the bum bum. I don't mind that kind of stuff if I cared about the character, but if he's a nobody to me, those parts come off very hollow. And I think even more than the casting, and again, we'll get into the casting, but even more than that, I think, again, the show betrayed the character in a way. And if people,
big time. And
this is why I was regretting doing this, because even in some of the other podcasts that we're going to be doing, I think next time might be Brienne of Tarth or something, and smaller. It's going to be awesome. But in all of those, we may say occasional poor things or bad things about character choices or moments in the show. But the problem with doing a Euron podcast, and the thing that's bothering me, is one, it makes me have to go to the bathroom a lot. Secondly, it's really difficult to try to come up with good things to say and not turn this into Joe and I bitching about this character for an hour and a half. And reading the motherfucking chats bitching. And I'm okay with doing that.
You're not going to get anything from me, but like, there's absolutely nothing good I have to say about Euron. As far as I'm concerned, Phil, you're saying we're going to listen to all his scenes.
Oh yeah, I'm
fucking torture.
I'm torturing.
I didn't like any of the scenes the first time I saw them.
People, if I'm going to keep this camera on Joe, and this might be torture porn for Joe tonight. It's going to be hilarious. Oh, let's go to the live motherfucking chat here. We got we got Hannibal, we got Chrissy, we got Biggie who says, "You're on two good hands, Greyjoy." He acted like he stepped out of Pirates of the Caribbean into Game of Thrones. Says, "The Walking David, great to see you." Santovio and Major, hey, what's going on? Chrissy, Cardinal Doomsday, and Cammy's in the live chat. Jasmine, Walking Dead, great to see you. Can't wait to do your request review very soon. Corey Mitchell, maybe it's just, but I'm over the Greyjoys. I hope the White Walkers just eat them or something off screen with no explanation. And Cardinal Doomsday says humor is relative, and again, that's the thing. I find potty humor kind of hilarious sometimes. So some of Euron's line reads. And I also think it's interesting the lengths that the show went to make us want to like him and find him funny. It reminds me a lot of another show called The Walking Dead, if you've never heard of it, that kills off a character. Let's call him X. Let's call him Mother Dick, okay? They kill off a character called Mother Dick, and then who says some actual funny things, and then is really a certain kind of character. And when Mother Dick is gone, they bring on another character. Let's call him Pee Pee Pants, and they think that Pee Pee Pants is just as funny as Mother Dick, but Pee Pee Pants is never as funny as Mother Dick. And that's the thing I get with Euron. Euron is the Pee Pee Pants to Ramsay. We need to bring in another opposing, wisecracking evil force. I know he's a different character and he has different dynamics, but I just mean that late inning villain.
He's not. There really has been zero. There's no difference. What's the difference, Phil? Come on. Really?
Phil, clearly
we just haven't seen him feed someone to the dogs yet, but in like scene number 2, it's let's go my fucking nephew.
We did see him cut some tongues out and shit like that. Oh, Steph Snow with the super chat donation for $4.99. Thank you so much. 2 minutes in and I'm already giggling. Ooh. This is gonna be fun. Fuck Euron all over again. You should do a podcast for Andrew Lincoln doing the show. We did, Jasmine. Check it out. There's actually two streams about that. Oh wow, we get some music right now for the super chat donation. A little bit of the Donkey Kong theme. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Stop it. That needs to stop. Okay, so I've got a new monster, Mother Dick. Jasmine Walker Dead already did a while ago. Steph Snow, great to see everyone. Berg says, I liked Euron the actor. He was quite funny. Okay, and then that's the thing with the funny. The funny is relative. I also at times found the character funny, but does funny necessarily make a character good?
I never thought he was funny once, so it was like, there wasn't any, really. challenge you, Phil. You have all your clips there. What's your funniest Euron scene? Let's see if Joe laughs. Yeah, I guarantee you. I guarantee none of it makes me fucking giggle. Unless it's to say, oh my god, this is so fucking bad.
Oh my goodness.
He really is like, there is a definite, I'm going to say this right now, and I think I said it during our season broadcasts too, but there is a definite drop off in not necessarily production value, but in the writing and in the screenplay of, you know, post season 5. There just really is a big drop off. When Dave and Dan took over, they started George Lucasing some of this shit. You know, like this is some bad dialogue, some bad, like that whole Dorne shit. Like, God, are we gonna like profile sand snakes next too? Come on. Or no, because they're dead.
Because they're dead. They're dead, Joe. Unfortunately.
We're sure all 3 of them are dead.
They might be back. Oh fuck! I'm like, sorry everybody. I'm dealing with some technical difficulties right here. And
hey, listen to over there.
it's a sound cue that was supposed to play right with the when we get the super chat donation, but it's supposed to only be a 30-second, but instead it's playing the whole fucking sound cue. So Euron Greyjoy is hijacking this live stream. He doesn't want to hear Joe talk, so I'm like, I have to turn down the volume while Joe is talking right now. Euron laughing at Theon jumping off the ship was pretty funny. Better now for Joe. Joe's sound could be bumped up a little. Yeah, I'm good.
I was leaning back. Hold on.
Oh no, it's not you, Joe. It's once the song is over with, I'm gonna bump up your volume again.
All right.
I just have
Bump
you to
it up. Bump up the volume. Get on the dance floor.
Joe will be on in a second. Okay, so let's play our first clip from Euron Greyjoy and get into these sound clips. So I'm going to do his first appearance ever. This is the first time we ever see or ever hear Euron Greyjoy. Let's listen to him right here. Okay, Joe, you're back.
Haven't I always, brother?
Move aside for your king.
I thought you'd been rocking under some foreign sea by now. What is dead may never die. Has the custom changed since I've been gone?
See, this
wasn't even supposed to be necessarily Greyjoy. That's one of the fucked up things about this.
Explain.
Isn't it supposed to be like, we don't really get to in the book, like.
No, okay, okay, Joe, good point. Because this is where we start the pile of shit. That, okay, I guess Stannis and Melisandre are finally right because Balon's finally dead. They just kind of skip that Balon is one of the slugs. They totally fuck over the Greyjoys. Even you and I, we were talking about this earlier. Even if you hate the Greyjoys and you do, Joe, they decided that they didn't want to do it anymore. They decided, hey, we're done with this. We don't really want to talk, get into these storylines. We don't understand it. It's too much. It doesn't play into the end game of what we're saying. Whatever they wanted, whatever reason they did that, they didn't set this up in a cool way. And they had this just be an introduction to the character. That being said, I think this is one of his better scenes because he doesn't do much. He's somewhat menacing in the light. We haven't seen Balon in a while. And I actually enjoyed this scene a little bit.
Right, but it's not. It completely takes away, because this scene exists. It completely removes some of the power and myth behind this character. Right, we're not supposed to actually see Euron throw him off. It's supposed to be like Mel shit, isn't it? Gust of wind or like witchcrafty crap that kills him. And right? No, like am I miss?
No, I mean no, you're not. But again, it's a different world. It's a different world.
Yeah, and that kills the character because now you just have a pissy, whiny, moany brother that's I want it now. Now is not quick enough.
brother.
I don't like you. I'm gonna kill you.
I love you, brother. Cammy says, I hated Euron, but for some reason I like him in season 7. Just the way he smirked at the Franken Mountain. 2 good hands comment. Bernie I think Euron's going to ditch Cersei for Dany. He gave that look in the dragon pit once he saw the dragon, and that was his original plan too, as we'll see, as we'll hear a little bit later. Misty, hey, how's it going, Misty? Great to see you. Steph Snow, people say that they hated the moot Euron more than Armani Exchange Euron. I don't know. Okay, I got banned from Tyrion's Magnus in his chat earlier. Jasmine, it's great to see you. Great to see everyone in the live chat. Thank you for joining us. Walking David, great to see you as well. Steph Snow, oh, you were too fucking sweet. Oh, yeah, and Bernie saying, yeah, faceless man or something like that. Okay, so let's continue here and listen a little bit more of this scene between Balon and Euron, our introduction to Euron.
You're supposed to repeat the words.
You can mock our god without my help.
I don't mock the drowned god. I am the drowned god.
Oh,
From Old
Jesus.
Town to Karth, when men see
Someone's
my
got a
sails,
complex.
they pray. You're old, brother.
Someone said in the live chat, Smokey Bear, great name. Lots of storylines abandoned. My problem though with specifically the Euron storyline in abandoning him and not introducing the character earlier, at least in some way, or at least I don't even know how you do it.
They never even mention him as
they mention him.
You know what I mean?
I think they mention him once. They mention when Tyrion is talking to Theon. He
Early
said,
season 1.
Yeah, he says something like your father's brothers attacked Lannisport. I don't know if they mention him by name, but they should have kept a hand in the Greyjoy spaghetti pot. I don't know, for at least that's a very smelly, stewy spaghetti pot. And wondering why I haven't seen any Expanse videos from Broke. The line is totally taken from Broken Bad. Hello, I doubt Euron will be coming back at all. He seems terrified by the Whites. Besides, Cersei needs one more betrayal. I would love to see that, Misty. And everybody in the live chat, keep that up. Where you think Euron's story is going to end. And I am the danger. The true Khaleesi. Let's continue here with a little bit more Euron.
You have had your time. Now let another rule.
I heard you lost your mind during a storm on the Jade Sea. Tied you to the mast to keep you from jumping overboard.
They did.
And when the storm passed, you cut out their tongue.
I needed silence.
What kind of an Ironborn loses his senses during a storm?
I mean, maybe they could have introduced Euron. I'm just spitting bullshit here. Maybe they could have introduced Euron when Tyrion escapes King's Landing at that point, and somewhere on his journey, there's some interaction with another Greyjoy comes into play in part of all that. I don't know. I just feel like there's other ways where smarter people that write shows could possibly have figured out to not just have us not see a Greyjoy for a while and then suddenly, and I'm not counting Theon, and then have this come back like this. I don't know. Steph Snow says, can we take a poll? If you're pro TV Euron, spam the merman emoji. If you think he's a waste of season 8 time span, balloon emoji. And balloon emoji all the way. And that's my point. If we're going to spend this much time and have this character essentially be taking up screen time in the final season of Game of Thrones and be a central type character, which it looks like at some level he's going to be, there's going to be some point where we're going to have time of 6 final episodes dealing with Theon going to save Yara and finishing or having some conclusion to his arc with Euron. We're going to see him again. It's going to be a big part of the story. That has to happen. So if that has to happen, I want to give a shit about the fucking character. So if you know this character is going to be one of the end game kind of things, build him up, make me give a shit. And you didn't do that. Even if some of his lines are fun, if you enjoy his comedy in season 7, which I think I do more than Joe does. Anyways.
It's not comedy. It's not comedy.
Comedy is subjective, Joe.
Just because someone's all like, I'm going to cut your balls off and dangle them on my chin while I watch you scream. it's not comedy. Like,
Joe, that's comedy when I hear
like
you
you
say
may
it.
laugh, but it's not comedy.
Hey,
It's not. It's not, and it's a lot. It feels forced.
Is it demeaning
feels
you,
like
Joe? Do
forced
you feel
medicine, a lot like that fucker with the stupid bat.
Oh,
really, it does.
You mean pee-pee
really
pants?
does.
It feels like
a poor fucking copy of that.
It
too.
feels like pee-pee pants. So you agree with my comparison that he's pee-pee pants to Ramsay's mother dick?
Yeah, I mean, I compared him to, I think, Negan, but still, yeah, he's a poor comparison to Negan.
As long as
and yes, he's also a poor substitute for Ramsay.
For the
like,
Ramsay Joffrey spot, for that spot of a villain. Is there anything you find redeemable about his character on the show, Joe? And is there any way that he could do something interesting in season 8 that will make you give a shit? If he betrays Cersei in a really awesome way and goes to side Dany,
I don't give a shit about Cersei. Like, as far as I'm concerned, she can fucking rot. She should have fucking died too by now. You know, like he's. I don't like. Oh, so he betrays Cersei, and like now he's gonna go give his big cock to fucking Dany. Like, how does that endear him to me anymore? Like,
then Jon and him will have a dick fight
right? Like fucking John Travolta in that fucking movie. They have a cockfight. Not John Travolta. John. I don't know. Three's Company, dude.
John Ritter.
Yeah, in Tasha Yar movie.
Dude, I have no clue what you're talking about.
There's a Tasha Yar movie. You know Tasha Yar, right?
And
she's like cheating on John Ritter, Jack Tripper, and like
this sounds
he
like
walks
some
in and throws
fanfic.
on a condom to have sex with his wife, and like the other dude is in the room, but it's pitch black scene, but they're glow in the dark condoms. So the two guys start fighting, and all you see is the condoms like having a little sword fight in the dark.
This totally.
I forget the name of that movie. It flopped, of course.
It sounds like an awesome fanfic. Walking David says Euron should have been introduced when Dany first sailed to a new location, perhaps to see his ships in Slaver's Bay. Excellent point, David, or at least hear him mentioned at some point. Apulia, will Euron bring the dragon horn out to attack the dragons? Will it work on the Night's King dragon? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to introduce dragon horns in these final.
Any of the horns, right? What do you need the horns for?
Again, but maybe, dude, maybe they will. Maybe if you can just have the Night King last season, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Good television versus bad story, whatever. I'm just saying this is a thing. If you could have the Night King grab a javelin in the middle and go, whoa, 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 that just happens to zone in on a dragon and
grab a couple of chains
and just have that stuff handy. But like, they could introduce anything. They could introduce a horn in the last minute. He shows up and blows a horn, but with no explanation.
Stupid D&D shit, right?
Well, it hasn't happened yet. Let's not. Oh, we got Walking David. Oh no, I'm sorry. Broke Black Man was the only merman to our balloons. It's rigged. There aren't any mermans on this computer. Book Euron ties his pregnant girlfriend to the mast of the Silence. Yara might take her place. I would not be surprised about that, Bernie the Burnt. Mike says Craster did have some sexy kids, though. Thanks, Broke. What's the merman emoji? We got Jay in the live motherfucking chat. Tim says, I was waiting for a Euron to show up in the show. When he did, I was like, wait, underwhelming use of a crazy, intense character. So is that kind of how you feel too, Joe? Not that you were waiting for him.
I don't feel like the book character was any more intense. I don't think it was utilized any better. And I think it was like kind of a waste of time in reading so far. But, the shows are much further ahead. So,
yeah. Do you think any Greyjoy... Do you think any of the Greyjoy mess is worth it in the books for you, Joe? No, you're just like bullshit. Greyjoy.
I found a lot of the Dornish shit to be kind of boring too in the books. Like,
I like the Dornish stuff in the books.
The new kid that they send over in a boat, like all that shit was like, oh my god, what am I reading about this stupid fuck for?
Is Cersei's baby Euron's or Jaime's? Is she really pregnant? But if it is anybody's, it's Jaime's. I don't think she boned Euron yet. Hey Joe, what do you want to see happen with Euron and Cersei? What would be your best scenario for the Euron Cersei situation going into season? And just to let you know where it ended up, if you have any, for anybody that might not remember, Euron had left the dragon pit to go get the Golden Company and bring the Golden Company over and cart them over to Westeros to help Cersei take back all the places that she's lost while everyone else is worrying about the North. So, Joe, if you were putting your Miss Cleo hat on, how would you like or think that situation's going to end?
Okay, I would like it to end with you know, we just get like a letter, like a little letter carrier comes in and says, Cersei, the entire fleet was lost to sea. We've never seen them again. And we never see them again. And that's the last of it.
Off screen, it just happens off screen.
Off screen, it just happens. We hear, they're fucked. And then, you know, that's all. You know how that shit happens all the time with boats, right?
Trisha says, I need to see season 8, The Hound versus the Mountain, The Inevitable Torment, and Brienne hook up. I think we won't see Euron again, says Jasmine. JR says, Book Dorn is great. I'm with you, JR. Tim says, it's not worth talking about Game of Thrones unless Cersei's blowing shit up. Jay says, I think villains after Joffrey, Littlefinger, Tywin, Ramsay are hard because any villains aren't going to be as good as those, says Jay says. So that's kind of my point, Jay, that I don't think he needed to be introduced at all. You could have, since you completely abandoned the Greyjoy plot for the most part, except for Theon, I guess you could have had Balon die off screen and not seen that scene and had it just been told in story. And then you have you don't necessarily even deal with the King's Moot and Cersei. But how does Cersei get the Golden Company? Well, they have ships. She buys ships too. I don't know. There's many different ways to do it in a way that could have made a little bit more sense than necessarily having to introduce another character for comic relief and for villainous purposes. Introduce a character to basically just kill him. And again, I hope he does something very interesting in this next season. I was not as bummed out by his first appearances with this Balon scene, but
I am the storm, brother.
And I didn't mind him at the King's Moot either. Let's listen to this.
Nephew, little Theon. Heard you managed to fuck things right into the ground. Captured a castle you couldn't keep. Got yourself taken prisoner.
And that's
Even heard you have no cock.
Yep.
No cock. Like, I think he's funny in this scene. And to another great point by Jay, and you have Cersei there too. At the end game here, you have the Night King, you have Cersei. You don't really need many other adversaries. I guess Cersei needed allies, so you needed to bring Euron back, or you need to bring the Greyjoys back into it. But, and again, I don't want to make this a big, oh, fuck this, fuck that, fuck that. But I don't see that this character was ever necessary in how he ended up being, for what they did with him. It seems like it was a waste of time, and he's going to be taking up screen time.
It was, oh shit, why did we introduce the Sand Snakes? Now we just got to kill them next season. Who are we going to get to kill him? I don't know. Let's introduce a Greyjoy to kill him.
Right,
and then kill the Greyjoy too.
I was gonna say that earlier, Joe. And if we have him kill the Sand Snakes in a really awesome way, everyone will like him better.
Right? Because we did such a horrible thing to the fucking Sand Snakes.
Yep.
Fuck that whole plot up.
Yep. And let's get back into the live motherfucking chat here for a second. Theon needs his redemption moment, and the only way to get it, and that's important, apparently. And I can hear Jay's tone on that one, apparently. And the Walking David says, "Enter frame. It's Euron Greyjoy. Remember me? Me neither." Thank you, everybody. Dog Sidious. From my point of view, the Porgs are evil. Sanity is Radical says, "I've made my peace with Game of Thrones. My expectations are low enough to enjoy whatever comes in season 8. Just holding out for the books. Hopefully George R. R. Martin has a contingency for when and if he dies." And I'm not going that far to, like, I'm the same way in the sense that I'm enjoying the show. I enjoy it for the television's sake. I'm taking the ride. Tonight it's gonna seem like I'm downer, that we're being sort of a downer at some points, because we're talking about the character that is the most useless character left on Game of Thrones right now. Out of every character left on the show right now, he is. Agreed. He is the most useless one still alive, and that's including No, Gilly makes more of a difference to the end plot game of the story because Sam does, and she's connected to Sam in a big way, and she's also connected to Craster, which is connected to the relationship between the Night King and taking the babies. So there's some association.
Yeah, well, come on, no. The left hand's connected to the
the
knee bone's connected to
her
the thigh
brothers.
bone,
Her brothers
to
could be Joe. Her brothers could be White Walkers.
Whose brothers?
Gilly's brothers could be White Walkers.
Please.
Gilly's brothers could. Gilly is more important to the end game than Euron fucking Greyjoy, dude. Team Gilly. Jasmine.
All right, sure. Ask your friend, our friend there, about that. Who's our red team about that?
Yeah, Carmine.
Ask red team about that.
Carmine's head might explode if he heard me say
about your little comment.
He'll hear. Jasmine Walking Dead says maybe Brad could tell Theon where Yara is. Maybe. I wonder. I'm very curious how willing Bran will be to be a LoJack. Unless Euron is hyping up Theon's redemption, no point. The show has done Euron dirty. Did they borrow his wardrobe from Captain Hook in Once Upon a Time? Wonderful bug, baby Sam. Where's the call-in number? The people want to hear me and be a broke black man rap battle. Call in. We have a voicemail line right now. No live call-in at the moment, but voicemail and text 781-990-8509 if you want to get your voice in. We'll take turns on the rap battle if you want. Gilly knows all the information. She's important. Yeah, she's the one who said King Rhaegar is whatever. Anyways, Gilly is almost as annoying as Sansa, Phil. Gilly will ask the obvious questions that will be answered. She has a photogenic memory. Gilly is important, Joe. Beric? Okay, maybe Beric, but still. Beric's at least more interesting and warmer. I'd hang out with Beric. I don't want to hang out with you. Get a weird disease just hanging in the same room as Euron.
Right.
Okay. Baby Sam is huge. Yeah, Baby Sam is gonna be huge. He's Okay, so let's listen to a little bit more of the King's Mood here and get Joe way into this because I know he's starting to get into this.
How you think a woman can be king?
When did you return, Uncle?
A few days ago. I had some things to take care of. Long overdue.
Yeah, like killing your dad.
I'm glad you're here. Now I know what my first act as queen will be. To execute the man who killed my father.
Execute him.
I did. I killed him. Threw him right over a rope bridge and watched him fall. He was leading us nowhere, and we would still be heading there if it weren't for me.
See, again, this is another one of these scenes. I did not mind this. I think the writing in this scene
and this is completely different, though. He never comes out and says he killed the dude.
I don't care if it's different. I'm judging the scene on its own. The scene on its own, I think is a fine. The scene on its own, I think, is a fine scene. It's acted well, it's written well, but there's something that doesn't connect with me on it, and I can't explain it. You don't get
to say I killed the king and then become the king.
If you're a dirty, fucking, stupid Greyjoy that respect murder, you can. Because that's all the Greyjoys give a shit about. You take it, you don't be given. So he's showing a sign of strength in this point and saying, I took what I wanted. I didn't wait for this to be given to me. I'm not a kid. I'm not a kid of Balon. I got ousted. I'm back here and I murdered your fucking king and I'm king. Give me some fucking shit. It should be cool to me, but it's not. I think it's written fine. I think it's acted all right. But again, I understand what you're saying, Joe, but to me, maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're right. I just don't think the scene doesn't connect with me in the way it should because maybe it's casting in this one. Maybe I don't feel this guy in this moment.
But the thing is if what you said about the Greyjoy thing, the Ironborn thing is true, then the King's Moot is stupid. But you also love the whole King's Moot thing, which means then Greyjoy should die for killing Balon and not be a part of the King's Moot. Because he can't just take it. He has to be voted in through the fucking King's Moot. And if that's the case, then no, sorry. You don't just get to kill the fucking king and become king.
Let's go to the chat. I don't think there's going to be a big Theon saves Yara moment. That girl is a goner. Her character's just not important enough. it's not Euron's style to make it for this long. Yeah, she's gonna be fucking dead soon. Phil, please play my voicemail. Beggars can't be. No, I'll play your voicemail at some point, David. Definitely. Jay says, I was thought of the line, we take what we want, was misproven, and Theon's sister couldn't take Theon. We want the winner. Winter is coming after 7 seasons. Dead can never die. He was a nanny for Jaime. What is dead may never die. Oh, we got Smokahontas in the live chat too. Let's listen to David's message since he asked so nicely. And thank you so much for our super chat donator too. We got let me spin the wheel and take a shot. Thank you so much to Heath Hinton and anybody else that I missed. Let's Joe's gonna take a shot here and let's play David's voicemail. Here you go.
Phil, Joe, it's the Walking David. I just want to start off by saying, as every conversation about Game of Thrones should start off with, I hope Gilly dies within the first 5 minutes of the upcoming season. Having said that, I just want them, for once, if they missed an opportunity to introduce a character, don't bother to introduce another character. I'm tired of these people kind of just trudging into scenes, just going like, hey, you know, I was really important this whole time. You didn't know about me, but I'm also Azor Ahai. Like, that shit is driving me fucking nuts.
Yep.
It's like, did you know that the Hound has a younger brother? Bet you fucking didn't. You know, I can't stand it. So as far as the Euron shit, either have him sail inland or stay out at sea. Make up your mind. Don't waste a lot of time on him. He's not the most important character. Song of Ice and Fire. I didn't hear anything about salt in there. So, anyways, that's my take. What do you guys think? Bye.
Joe, what are your thoughts to Walking David's comment?
I think good call, Walking David. Right on.
Yeah.
Right motherfucking on.
I think it becomes even more imperative when you have this lack of episodes and lack of seasons, lack of time left. If we had 10 episodes last year, this past season, or season 7, and 10 episodes season 8, and that's what closed it out, then we have time. Then we have time to explore these kind of things. What was that, Joe?
What we needed was 16 season 1, 16 season 2, 16 in season 3.
Yeah, season
1. 10 bullshit. What the fuck?
Yeah,
that book, 10 hours, really? Come on, any of those books?
In fairness, I don't want to rewrite history. Season 1 was a very good representation of the first book. They could have explored,
but there was still a few things missing that are important to the future.
Yeah, fair, especially some of the vision, some of the stuff, the traveling of distances, the journey up north with the king, some of the stuff with Jon Arryn early could have been done, fleshed out. There is some stuff that could have been done more, but for that kind of transition, it was pretty cool. But I agree, each season should have been 16 episodes or something. I can't argue with that. Give me more. But we are dealing with the reality of what we got left. And with what we have left, David is absolutely right. It's tough when you keep introducing new characters. I don't want new characters introduced next season. Please don't tell me there's new actors being hired for next season. Stannis should have been in season 1. Absolutely, Stannis should have been in season 1. Heath Hinton, isn't Euron more of a plot device now that he's going to get the Golden Company? Yep, he is. But Dario could have betrayed Dany and gotten the Golden Company too, and Cersei could have had some spies over there that Qyburn knew that Dany fucked over Dario and it was able to have Cersei pay off Dario to betray her and send the ships with the Golden Company over, because I think that's going to bring Dario over anyway, so you didn't really need Euron. You could have just used Dario to electric boogaloo.
Yep.
But whatever. And great to see everyone in the live chat. Walking David says, boom, Joe and I are soulmates. And, we've got another voicemail. Let's see. I think this might have been cut off a little bit, but let's see. Oh, no. Here we go.
Hi, this is Jasmine. Do you think Jon will accept taking the throne once he finds out?
Okay, about once Jon finds out about his true parentage, do I think he's going to take the throne? No, I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's going to take the throne. I don't think he's going to. I don't think it's going to try not to change him too much. I think he's still going to yield that to Daenerys. Ultimately, he's going to say she's my queen. I don't think it's going to really go to his head. Joe, just to touch a little bit on something more interesting, what do you think Jon's reaction is going to be when Bran and or Sam tell him his true parentage?
I think he's gonna go and be like, "Ha, fuck you, Catelyn."
His first thought will be fuck Catelyn. See, Ned never cheated on you. You treated me like shit. Fuck you.
Let's face the facts about Jon and Daenerys. A love that's kind of gross.
I agree. I think the Golden Company will turn on Cersei at King's Landing, back Dany, and will help Dany win the Seven Kingdoms, says Heath Hinton. And let's go over here. Let's go back to the 2 screen. And we also have one text message to get to, and then we'll get to playing some more Euron quotes. This is from Preston, who says, "Oh, I can't access the live chat right now. What the hell's up? Refresh them shits, Preston. I don't know what's going on." Preston says, "Hey, Phil, in motherfucking chat. Today at the thrift store, I saw a pop figure of Princess Buttercup, and I thought if went to the costume party dressed as Princess Buttercup, and most people would probably mistake you for Cersei Lannister." Inconceivable. Inconceivable. Jon will say, "Oh fuck, what did I do?" He'll have Jaime there at that point to lean on for advice. Jon's reluctance will make him a great king until she dies, says Wonderful Bug. Peter Griffin says, "Jon will say I know. Get your mind out of the gutter, Bran." And dogs say Danny's better, greater than all. And I left a voicemail. I can read it. I have it. And that was from Jasmine Walking Dead. Thank you so much for that voicemail, Joe. Or thank you, Joe, for that voicemail.
And then he'll turn and puke and be like, "Oh, Jesus, I just fucked my aunt."
It's both sex, that's gross, I admit. It's both sex, it's making me sick. The feeling of watching 2 relatives having sex on a boat. You'll be there to watch her burn it.
Okay, enough Danny. Hey, we'll save this for the for the Danny podcast. Let's just get back to Euron.
Here.
Aren't we done? What else do we have left to talk about?
Gallivanting around the world, having a grand.
Joe, I mean, there is some element of that's true, which is why I wasn't necessarily looking forward to doing this podcast, because there's only so much we can say here. I
mean, we could go over every scene, and essentially it's going to boil down to the same thing: shitty dialogue with poorly menacing, black eyeliner, and then, oh look, he got a haircut. Still has shitty eyeliner on, like.
John's gonna say she didn't feel like my aunt. Gallivanting. In fairness, Joe, again, this is why I want to do this, because I want to judge this again. I don't find this bad dialogue. This part.
Oh no, of course not, Phil. And I don't know whether or not you don't find it bad dialogue because you didn't find Negan to have bad dialogue.
Oh, shut! Don't insult. Whoa.
Or if you don't find it to be bad dialogue because you just want to torture me.
Okay.
I'm not sure which is the case here.
No,
I know you find it to be bad dialogue.
I'm not going to seduce her. The Iron Fleet will
No,
seduce
I'm gonna mute you here for that one. You can say all you want, Joe, but I never liked Negan. Shut the fuck up.
No, you like his dialogue.
Eat a dick. No, I don't. Fuck you. Wrong show, different argument. Don't fucking take the anger and passive-aggressive hate that you have for me for making you watch The Walking Dead and do reviews of it and bring it into this conversation, Joe. That I'm bringing you off the bench here because of your lack of interest in Westworld to get on in here to talk about Euron Greyjoy. You're like, you asshole. You asked me to do a podcast. Okay, Cheers was awesome, but now you're asking me to talk about Euron fucking Greyjoy. What a dick. God, why don't you ask me to talk? Why don't we do a breakdown of Negan next week or 2 weeks?
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh my fuck.
Walking David would love to do that one with you.
I know he's in tag. Walking David's tagging in on that one. Okay, so the Greyjoy storyline was ruined when Theon and Yara went to Slaver's Bay. Euron became fucking useless, right? So let's go over to that's the King's Moot. Say what you want about it. At the end here, we get this very funny moment where it's like,
We shall have no king.
where he has this Norman Batesy like moment. Here's Johnny. Oh no, that's not Norman Bates. Mother?
Psycho killer Norman Bates.
And he goes looking for them. Okay, so ultimately, then Euron, after this point, builds the quickest fleet. He gets like Bob the Builder on his side, and they really go to town on.
I'm not good at
And here we are is another
ships and ram.
Euron Greyjoy has decided, and one thing I wanted to mention in that last scene at the end of the King's Moot, when he starts giving his plan about what he's going to do. He's going to go see the Dragon Queen with his big dick, and
look at my big dick, everyone.
See, pure, beautiful dialogue, Joe. I'm telling you, that's the best dialogue ever. And he never actually ever does that. Someone said that in the live chat, and it's very true. We got Nancy in the live chat, too. You guys are so awesome for joining us this Sunday night to talk about this live, or to talk about Euron Greyjoy. But it's so awesome to have you guys here, even no matter what we're talking about.
What are we talking about here?
Well, I don't know what we're talking about, Joe. We're talking about Cersei Lannister and Jaime dealing with Euron. And okay, is it okay?
Their own uncle.
Is it okay to like Euron because of the way he makes other characters act? Two scenes that we're going to listen to coming up here. This scene, or this whole section with him capturing the Sand Snakes and bringing him back to Cersei, and him talking to them and being fucking crude and rude. I like how Jaime acts. It makes me like Jaime even more because of how much disrespect he has for the Greyjoys, and almost feeling what we all feel, this sense of fuck, these Greyjoys fucking suck. And Tyrion and Jaime share a very fun look in the Dragon Pit about this too. So let's listen to the beautiful musings of Euron Greyjoy.
Ships and ram. Sailed them right across the world and gave them to the Dragon Queen so she could bring her armies here to attack you. It's nothing compared to the treason you suffered at the hands of a family member, from what I hear. But still, it bothers me. Murdering them would make me feel a lot better. And since it appears that all our treasonous family members are fighting for the same side, I thought we rightful monarchs.
Okay, we've avoided the question because I didn't want to talk all about this. Joe, is it about the casting? Could another actor have pulled this off better? And I always say this if Ragnar Lothbrok was reading these lines, if Travis Fimmel was Euron Greyjoy, would it work better for you?
No.
No, is it more dialogue for you than acting performance and more just character?
No, this scene isn't really bad dialogue. It's more. It's a combination of things that we've already said. That somebody even said in the chat that you said that, you're. It all feels forced. It all feels like we need a plot moving device. Here it is. Like there's no depth to the character. There's no history to the character. The character is extremely two-dimensional. Look, I'm here to be menacing and dirty mouth funny. Ta-da!
Yeah, and
like that's exactly how every time he's on screen, that's what I feel.
And I don't want to keep coming back to that. It all comes down to the fact that it feels like the last couple, and I don't even want to get down to Dan and Dave's writing style since they've taken over these back shows, but it feels like, especially since these last couple of seasons, feel like everything's in a hurry. Like they're rushing it along. It's at the end of an awesome party when you can tell the hosts want you to leave. It's like the party's still fun. Like things are still happening. We can still have a lot of fun at this party. But they're like, okay, could you leave? Could you get out of your house? Don't throw a party if you don't want the party to go to the logical end. Don't be an asshole and kick people out at 10:30.
You don't kick people out of a party. You let people leave on their own. Unless you say on the invitation, everybody out by 10.
Right, but no, they on the invitation it said we're gonna party till this story is told properly, and that's why we're throwing this party, because we want to tell the best story possible and have the best party ever. So we're gonna have the best party ever. 10:30 rolls around, the party is the best party ever, and they start going, you guys gotta leave. Could you get
everybody out?
Everyone get out of the house. Come on. The party, the party was gonna go to 2. Now the party's just gonna go till 11:30. Fine, we'll give you 11:30. What fucking assholes. King McKay in the live motherfucking chat. Great to see King McKay. Jasmine left and I like your voicemail. Thank you everyone that left voicemails tonight, and thank you to all of our super chat donators that have helped Joe and I get a little buzzed so far. It's a party in the live chat, and we're talking about Euron Greyjoy to start Game of.
We were already at the Dragon Pit there. That's the Dragon Pit.
No, this is when he first comes to the throne room before he attacks the ship.
Okay.
So he's only in 2 scenes in season 6. The scene that he shows up on the bridge and he plays a little bit of shaky with the bridge and throws Balon over, and then the King's Moot scene, and then this. And I might not have every single scene, but I think this is most of them. This is where he gives the mountain the big fucking crazy look.
You're not a rightful monarch, though, are you? The Greyjoys rebelled against the throne for the right to be monarchs, but as I recall, you were soundly defeated. Come to mention it, weren't you the one who started that rebellion by sailing to Casterly Rock and burning the Lannister fleet?
There it is.
You certainly caught us there. Very smart move on your part. Of course, we all made it to the Iron Islands anyway. I was there.
I remember very well. I saw you. I heard so much talk. The best in the world, no one can stop him. I didn't believe it, to be honest. But I must say, when you rushed through the breach and started cutting people down,
it was beautiful.
It was glorious. Like a dance.
The people I was cutting down were your own kin.
Place was getting crowded.
See, okay, I kind of like that shit. Watching it back in away from it all, it's relatively entertaining. It's interesting. You get a little bit more backstory of the Greyjoy rebellion, and I don't hate this. And this section right here is probably my favorite Euron that we've gotten so far, Joe.
I enjoyed watching it. I truly did.
I enjoyed killing
Greyjoy. Armagang Brewery is sponsoring this podcast right now. I am the potato. I'm in danger. Whoa, Phil, it's not the size that counts, man. Hey, I'm compensating. Cammy said I left your cheers. Oh, great to see. Oh, Cardinal. Mario, so much exposition in that scene with Jaime and Euron. It's like D&D think we're stupid. They have to dumb down everything, says Mario. Yep. Joe, is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my fuck. Okay.
Exactly right. It's I'm the man with nothing to lose. Well, don't tell me that, dude.
So then he leaves and he says he's going to bring her a gift. And then we have our fight. And he kills the sand snakes. And I know you think I'm trying to create things that are good to talk about. He didn't have to talk in this scene. He pulled off the action well. This was a well-shot scene. We've never really seen a ship-to-ship battle like this on Game of Thrones before, and I thought it was done really well, the way that the scene sort of connected into it.
With the exception of, like, I know exactly what ship they're on.
Right, like how the fuck did they find him?
Armada.
Yeah, how the fuck did he find them so fucking easily? He was tracking them apparently and used echolocation to find them. He was harnessing the power of the dolphin and using echolocation to find them.
Because that's the kind of ship you only get 1, maybe 2 rams with in like a big battle like that. It's not like you can get up enough speed to do it over and over again. So you better pick the right fucking ship to go catch a queen or kill a fucking whatever, you know.
But as Cardinal Doomsday says in the live motherfucking chat, I'm all for killing a sand snake, and he kills 2 of the sand snakes in a really awesome graphic fight way, and I dug it. I dug it. Joe, do you need to run to the bathroom? You look like you're about to run to the bathroom for a second. If you need to, feel free to run off if you need to. Euron has magical powers. King McKay says Euron was a pleasant surprise in season 7 because his introduction in season 6 was very poor, says King McKay. Steph Snow says, my question is, if Book Euron is more mixed up with magic and the Horn, why would D&D totally skip over this and said it has no part in the final ending of the show? Which I think the show is just focusing prime on the Jon and Daenerys and the Lannisters and the main house section of all of this. And I think they decided to skip all of anything that opens up the whole world, in my opinion. And I think they're kind of breaking it down to the most simple conclusion. So I think everything that's going to play Endgame in A Song of Ice and Fire doesn't necessarily have to be the same case in the show. I think the show's ending is going to be just like the comic book version of it, in a sense. You know, like when you see a movie and they make a comic book version of The Godfather and you can see like the panels and you switch, oh, okay, right there. And I'm only thinking about The Godfather because of the final scene in in Luke Cage that is an homage to one of the final scenes is an homage to one of the final scenes in The Godfather, which I thought was really well done. So really cool. Have you guys already mentioned Euron built 1,000 ships so quickly? We didn't dwell on that because we dwelled on that so much on the recaps. But yes, when Theon and Yara leave him on Pike, they take all the ships, and somehow he builds a fleet of 1,000 ships
from an island that has no trees.
Yeah, on an island that has no trees. Quickly. He's got the Tasmanian devil comes up. We got Kaylana. Euron is a funny in an asshole sort of way. And I guess that's what I'm saying too. Into itself, I find the dialogue is not better or worse than some of the dialogue that Varys and Tyrion have sometimes. But I think the performances of those characters, because you've had so much build up with them, you care about them, so they can get away with saying stuff like that, and I'm invested in it. With Euron, a lot of it feels just throwaway because I don't give a shit enough about the character. It's, why are you making these fucking jokes on my show, dude? I don't give a shit about you. But I think if they had introduced the character better and made us care about him more, I would have been personally a little bit more forgiving of some of those things. So he goes on the ship, he kills some sand snakes, and he's an unstoppable force, even though he's getting stabbed and the sand snakes don't have poison. Then he goes to Theon, he captures Yara, and he's gonna kill her. I got it, little Theon. I'm gonna kill her. Come to me.
I have her. Come and get her.
Yeah.
And Theon, we'll talk more about this in the Theon podcast, but Theon has a little bit of a break right here in a quick stretch back to Reekdom and can't deal with it anymore and freaks out. So after that, we get Euron coming back to King's Landing. And I know I kind of like this whole thing too. He comes back and
bring you presents.
Compared to the chains, Gendry running and everyone else, Euron was a blessing.
This is the life. Look at them. Cheering for Greyjoy. I have to be honest, this is making me hard.
Doesn't it feel like we should laugh, Joe?
No.
Steph Snow, Joe looks not amused. Steph Snow with the super chat donation. Phil, did you like his ship crash, the stair scene? Oh, when he crashes into the ship and it goes into the other ship, and then the boarding thing comes down and he jumps on the other side. I thought that was a good action scene. I never am against crazy over-the-top action scenes on shows when you depict that kind of stuff. I find them fun, and I think on a show like Game of Thrones, if it can create an intensity and a feeling like it's a cross between dark magic, crazy action shit happening all at the same time, I think it's effective. And I thought that was done pretty damn well. And I thought that was a good action scene, one of the better action scenes of that season. Spin the wheel. My name is Reek. I need to take a leak. Reekdom is brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, but he did. He reverted back into Reekdom a little bit. And everyone drink.
Oh.
Sorry, Joe. Everybody pick up your drink. Joe, you can drink coffee if you want. Everybody drink. Euron's entrance into that ship battle scene was the most heavy metal thing I've ever seen in the world. Yeah, it should have. Some Pantera should have played as he flew down there. Phil loved that car chase scene of Negan and Rick, of course. I love that stuff. So, what's Cammy say? The small folk are the Simpsons mob. We need them. I love this episode. His lines. Does she like it up the butt? Yeah, we're about to get to that. Does she like a finger in the bum?
Did you see little Theon's face right before he jumped overboard? Oh no! What a twat!
Yeah, he built Killmonger. He built the ship with his friend Kazoo, the great Kazoo, who said, "Listen, dum-dum, do you need me to build 1,000 ships, dum-dum?" So he...
My queen.
Here we go.
Please accept this gift on behalf of all of your loyal subjects in the Iron Islands.
I give you what no other man could give.
Justice. Justice for your murdered daughter.
Justice, Joe.
Equal right.
And justice.
You've proven yourself the greatest captain on the 14 seas. And a true friend to the crown.
Yo ho ho in a bottle of rum. Yo ho ho.
Proper reward for your heroes.
Oh.
There's only one reward.
Oh, it's your vagina. Vagina. Touch me. Touch me. Yo. My name is Euron. I want my dick to take out all the world of the 7 kingdoms. My dick is so big. It's Euron's dick. It's silence. Silence from my dick. Silence from my dick. It's a prick dick wick. I'm Euron and I got a big dick. Does she like a finger in the bum dick? I like a finger in the bum dick. Oh yes, it's Euron's dick.
If you turn on us, I'll cheer to see your head mounted on a spike.
Oh my god.
What's with the cup full of marshmallows? What is that? What's that a cup full of?
The cup full of marshmallows.
Speak as brothers. Advice?
Here we go. Sorry, I want to hear this.
Should I get gentle or rough?
You know, it doesn't always have to be gentle, and it doesn't always have to be rough, dude. Why is it got to be one or the other, you fuck?
Misty says that bad rap is gonna haunt me in my sleep. It was purposely bad. Please stop. That reminds me of Jay and Silent Bob. Stop, Phil. We love you. Stop it. I agree, Misty. It needs to stop. No, I'm gonna say it. Agree. Everybody says it needs to stop. Never do that again, Phil. In fact, burn this. Burn this video. Okay, so sorry. So we only got a couple more scenes, Joe. Don't worry. I'm putting Joe back to sleep after his nap with all these scenes. This is another funny one because that's all he does. This is, I guess, more tactically funny. And if you look at this, let's look at this a little bit more from the angle of what's really happening here. Cersei and him probably concocted this, and he said, "I'm just gonna act like an asshole and then eventually leave." So he got to. He breaks up the conversation here. Or I don't even know if this is part of the plan with Cersei or if he just does this on his own and the only part of the plan with Cersei is to leave. I mean, that's actually an interesting question. Is Cersei in on the first part of this where he just goes like this? Where he interrupts Tyrion? Probably.
We are all facing a unique...
Theon!
Shut up.
I have your sister. If you don't submit to me here now, I'll kill her.
And you will call me daddy. The best part of that whole scene is Tyrion and Jaime look back at each other with looks like on Joe's face right now, where it just goes, what in the flying fuck are we having to deal with this Greyjoy bullshit?
I think we ought to begin with larger concerns.
Then why are you talking? You're the smallest concern here.
Oh, you got a giggle.
Remember when we discussed dwarf jokes?
His wasn't even good.
He explained it at the end. Never explained it. Always ruins it.
We don't even let your kind live in the Iron Islands, you know. We kill you at birth. And act of mercy for the parents.
Perhaps you ought to sit down.
Why?
Sit down or leave.
Oh, don't let the mountain get up. Ma, we wait till your dad, the mountain, gets here. He'll just shut the fuck up, and everyone just stops except for the hound that goes, nah, I'm gonna kick his fucking stupid ass. I love all the axes just chilling behind Joe. Hey, Cersei also made Jaime have sex next to their dead son. Oh, my bad, I didn't have sex next to Joffrey and Tommen. And Joe, painfully, the last Euron Greyjoy scene that we have is after we see the the dead man charge at Cersei. Euron does an acting job apparently, and I guess this is the one thing to think about when it comes to whether he will betray Cersei or not. Is what he says here, is it any of this true?
Believe it until I saw them. I saw them all.
Come on.
How many?
100,000 at least.
Because this is my favorite moment of him through the whole entire series, and it's a shame that it's a ruse. Because it would have been cool if this was the end of the Greyjoys. This should have been the end of Euron right here.
Yep.
Can they swim?
Can they swim?
No. Good.
Fuck you. I'm out.
I'm taking the Iron Fleet back to the Iron Islands.
What are you talking about?
I've been around the world. I've seen everything, things you couldn't imagine, and this is the only thing I've ever seen that terrifies me.
See you later. Bye.
I'm going back to my island. You should go back to yours. When winter's over, we'll be the only ones left alive.
And he gets the fuck out of here. And obviously, this isn't a real thing. He did that on purpose from Cersei to get a head start, to go get the Golden Company to bring them over.
Right, but there's no ships out there scouting the water to go see an armada goes west or east. Look at those 5 boats going the other way.
But my question, and this is what Jasmine says, is he at all serious there with what he's saying? That that's the only thing that's ever scared him, Joe? Do you think he's actually scared by what he just saw? And that there's a chance that he could just say, fuck Cersei, I am going to my island and skipping all this crap?
No, he's not scared of what he saw.
He's turned on by it in some sense, right?
At least a little.
Cardinal says, come on, Phil. I know you'd rather talk about Deep Space Nine. Whoa, are we turning this into the Garrick podcast? You know, Garrick would be a very interesting character in Game of Thrones. The whole storyline is bullshit, says Curtis, and I would agree with that as well. I don't think he'll really come back for her ass after seeing that. Cersei had better music entrance, but Dany had to fly in that dragon in their wrestling entrances to Raw that evening in the Dragon Pit. How did she know it was going to play out that way? I don't think she knew exactly it was going to play out that way. That's one of those things that I'm somewhat curious about, but it's okay to not know that information. How Cersei planned this? Like, what were the...
No. Already set it up. It was already set up, so it didn't have to be the... It didn't have to be the dead guy, the white, right? Cersei, he was already starting to insult Tyrion. He was already starting to make himself a nuisance in the pit there. If you don't sit down, you can leave. Right? So he throws a few more insults and she kicks him out and he goes, fuck you, bitch. and leaves. You know what I mean? Like, so it was like, it didn't have to play out that way. Maybe he just felt this feels a little bit less forced than the other way.
Yep. And to end things out here, let's play it. We got a message from Hannibal, but I'm not ready to quite be done here, but I think we've exhausted the Euron Greyjoy talk. If anyone has any specific questions or comments about Euron that we didn't hit, please, you can throw them in the live chat. But what we're
Just how big is Euron's cock?
Do you think he's compensating? Do you think big?
That ship was definitely compensating for something there, Phil. That big battering ram, come on.
Yeah, his big axe that he's swinging around. But I think we're going to open up the conversation to a little bit of any Game of Thrones Q&As or any other random show type Q&As here at the end. So we'll be on for a little while longer before we call it a show. But if anyone has any questions or comments in the live chat or wants to leave a voicemail about anything else, please ask away and we'll go through this for a little bit. And
am I killing everybody with those? Sorry, Laura.
When you killing,
I put half our audience to sleep by all my yawning, Phil.
Joe, you know your yawning is contagious. Is everyone yawning too? I know, Joe. That's why
Phil hasn't thrown any out yet.
That's why I was. I said before the show, I go, "Oh, Joe's very tired. He has to go to." Then I thought it was right before a nap, and it's actually right after a nap, which makes it's actually worse.
Sunburned nap.
Yeah. Okay.
I got all my pink.
We all know.
Look at my pink.
We all know Joe's bored by all of our company. Kai Byrne has a stiffy under his potato sack. I feel like when we try to figure out the reasons why certain characters behave certain ways, we're actually putting more thought into it than Game of Thrones D&D did. Oh, Joe, I didn't answer your question. I didn't answer your question what that little jar of whatever is. It's when people make a super chat donation. It's a tip jar, and it drops little coins in the bucket there.
And they look like marshmallows.
And let's spin the wheel one more time for Steph Snow. Phil, how does the Euron story end in Season 8? I would say Euron's story ultimately ends with, if I'm guessing the way things are leading up to, and I know everyone doesn't agree with this, but I think it ends with him and Theon in some sort of conflict, and that Theon kills him. Phil, I'm watching your old all the old Star Trek at the moment. What's the best series in your opinion of all the Star Treks? My favorite for the whole entire series would be Deep Space Nine, but for episodes, Next Generation might have the best single episodes, even though I think as a whole Deep Space Nine is better. And I'm saying this as a Deep Space Nine fan, like I would say it, but I'm trying to say it unbiasedly. I don't think Next Generation has the best continuing stories or a lot of conflicts, but individual episodes like Inner Light, Yesterday's Enterprise, so many. I could just name like a billion episodes that are great.
That's because one was episodic and one was serial.
Right, and I tend to like serial better, so get me the Captain Crunch. So I like Deep Space Nine a little bit better. That being said, my favorite episode of all Star Trek is in Deep Space Nine, and a couple of my favorites are. So I'm not saying against the episodes, but I would say all in all, that era is great. I really love the original series too, but the technology is what gets me a little bit with it.
Deep Space Nine would be better if it wasn't stolen from J. Michael.
Shut the fuck up, Babylon. You Babylon 5 people. Yeah, they stole the script. It got sent to Paramount, and they decided to make a fit. Yeah, they copied it all. It's all stolen. Whatever. Fuck. Still fun.
J. Michael's got two of my favorite TV shows of all time right now: Babylon 5 and Sense8.
And we did Sense8 too. Is also the Babylon 5.
Yeah, is the guy that wrote Babylon 5 is one of the head guys over at Sense8.
Cardinal says it's nearly midnight on Eastern Standard Time. No wonder Joe looks tired. Joe actually is just waking up from probably like a 3 or 4 hour nap.
I was at the beach today. That's what's got me in it. I spent a little bit too much time in the sun, so I got a little bit of a sunburn. My nap wasn't really a nap. It was just a sauna-filled room with a shitty fan pointed at me as I tossed and turned, itching from this goddamn little bit of a sunburn I got.
Trisha says you don't have to push me to get on Deep Space Nine talk. And King McKay, the first 2 seasons are slow, very slow, and it's a lot of build up that's going to be better later on. I'd say seasons 4 through 6 are prime amazingness. and 7's really good too, and 3's really good too. Season 1 and 2, especially they are slower. So be prepared. I think he'll definitely do something to Euron, David, saving Yara, but I don't think it's going to happen. And Theon cuts off Euron's you-know-what, and Qyburn Franken-sizes him, and then he goes on the whole fucking rampage. Let's listen to Hannibal's message here.
Yeah, I just wanted to, this is Hannibal. I just wanted to know your guys' opinion. I thought Viserion was the most pussy of all the dragons, but now he's a undead dragon or whatever. He's got blue flame. What do you think's more powerful, like Drogon and Rhaegal, like fire flame, or Viserion's, popsicle flame, the blue flame?
The popsicle flame. Joe, what do you think?
Wonder your guys' opinion.
Joe, popsicle power or original brand? Original recipe?
I don't know, man. Dragon's a fucking dragon. I don't want to be in either one of those.
Okay, I wonder, and this a lot of people have unpacked this a lot deeper than I'm going to right now, but I wonder if on some level they just made it that way just to give it a different color or a different look, so that when the dragons are fighting each other, you can get that Big Trouble in Little China clash of the two, the good guy and bad guy clash of the two sides going zzz, or something like that. I would say that Drogon's the most powerful of the three still, and his flame runs the hottest. If I was to guess, do you have any other opinion on this, Joe?
No.
Joe doesn't have any more opinions on popsicle power. Curtis,
I think the bigger the dragon, the more powerful the dragon.
Curtis says Bran wargs Drogon and enters Euron repeatedly. Joe looks sick of this topic right now. This is OTDA. Cardinal Doomsday. Watching Joe is the best part of this stream. I'm dying over here watching Joe die over here.
Oh, Joe is dying. Oh my god. Ow.
Joe's slowly dying on the live stream. Oh, and we got another voicemail. And also, everyone, if anyone wants to get any voicemails, we're going to start to wrap things up. It's 11:54. Yeah, we'll start to wrap things up right at midnight, and we'll let Joe go before he passes out on the stream. And let's listen to a few more voicemails if we get them. 781-990-8509. Also, text if you want to let them in. This is from area code 845.
Hey, guys, it's Bernie the Burnt. So,
hey, Bernie.
D&D fucking hired Nikolai Coster-Waldau's nanny / Manny to play the motherfucking Crow's Eye, Euron Greyjoy. I mean, like, what did they do? Catch him at craft services eating a sandwich and go, yes, this is our guy. I mean, it's like fucking insulting.
Wait.
Sorry, nannies. Peace.
What did I just hear? Euron, the guy that plays Euron was Nikolai's nanny, like nannied Nikolai, or nannies Nikolai's kids.
No, I'm. If we're taking Bernie the Burnt for face value of the comment, which I'm going to because I want it to be true, she's saying that it was Jamie, the actor that plays Nikolai's nanny is Manny that was cast to play this character. I'm gonna go with it. I'm going with this. What the fuck?
Wait, so when Nikolai was just a little boy, Euron was raising him?
No. His
Nikolai's kids.
Nikolai's kids, Manny.
Is that true? Euron hasn't been in anything. This is his first job.
Are we getting rickrolled here? Are we like either?
Are we getting rickrolled?
Either way, we're never gonna give it up. We're never giving this one up. We're taking it as fact. Confirmed. Confirmed. It's true. Bernie the Burnt says no. It's true. It's true. Cardinal says I'm as confused as Joe. King McKay says Drogon killed Viserys with melted gold. Then Danny says fire cannot kill a dragon, so I think Viserion will die to dragon fire from Drogo. Very interesting, King McKay. I like that. Bernie's we're gonna go with it. We're taking Bernie the Burnt as empirical evidence of this truth.
Bernie, you got to call in once a show with one of these facts.
Yeah, one of these fun facts. Yeah,
And then we get to decide if it's a true fact or not. You don't have to make it a true fact, but you got to give us one every show about every character that we do.
There we go. Every week, Bernie the Burnt comes to us and offers us a fact about a character on Game of Thrones. You, Joe Dirtylocks, need to decide if it's true on this week's episode of
One of the actors' wives. Yeah.
This week's episode of Bernie Burns You.
Did you know that Peter Dinklage was actually 6 feet tall when he was 12 years old? Shit like that. True or not?
This week, Bernie tries to stump Joe with another fun fact about Game of Thrones. Thank you, Broke, and thank you to everyone that tuned in. We're going to start to wrap things up here in a second. It's Gossip Girl, yeah. Hey, girls, it's Gossip Girl here. Joe's on the podcast, yawning away, but Bernie the Burnt's thinking about how to spike his tea with a little bit of shade. Sick burns from Bernie the Burnt.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God, this is going to be fun. Okay, so... We'll be back next week with more, and you can just do that with any subject. Doesn't necessarily have to be Game of Thrones, but we're gonna go with that. Peter Dinklage should be the next Batman. So,
confirmed.
Peter Dinklage is Batman this week on Bernie's Burnt. Song. You're supposed to play song. Come on, you don't play right there. Oh, yes. Sorry. Okay, Joe. So, thanks for joining me tonight, Joe. There's not much else we can say about Euron Greyjoy. If anyone has any last-minute questions, we'll take it. Poor Joe, let him sleep. Can you imagine Euron telling your kids a bedtime story? Listen, little Theon, I've got my great big cock. We really do appreciate you guys. We know streams like this, especially when we're talking about something like Euron Greyjoy, there's not much great we can say about it. Hopefully we made you guys smile a couple of times. And if you haven't already, please leave your comments about this episode. If you're listening to the audio cast, definitely make sure you leave some iTunes reviews and all that fun stuff. You can find out, if you're watching the YouTube video, all the ways to help us in the description box below, all the ways to find us and touch us properly.
Ooh, touch us.
It was great. It was great. But, and everyone also that celebrates such things have happy fireworks and blowing shit up. And
one of the fireworks.
The 3rd. Excuse me. The 3rd?
Are you serious? Why?
The fireworks are the 3rd. They're always the 3rd.
But that's a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it on the 4th on the actual day.
Well, they do. Well, it depends the town. I mean, we can talk about this off the air, Joe, but we can end the stream having this discussion. That you've grew up in the same town area that I have in every year since we were fucking kids. They do it on the 3rd. They, dude, you're so full of fucking shit. So guys, you get to see Joe and I's real relationship here. Dude, you're so full of shit on this one.
No.
It's always on the 3rd. When we used to go to Nick's house for that party, that was always on the 3rd, not the 4th. The 4th is other towns do it on the 4th, but the our little area always does it on the 3rd.
Oh, fucker, I gotta work that night.
You're a fucking dumbass. No, I have to work on
I was supposed to have it off.
Yeah, whatever.
And I was. And I even put in for it off. And they were like, okay, you can have I was like, I need the 3rd and the 4th off. You know, I work overnight, so if I work the 3rd, I gotta sleep all through the fucking 4th. And if I work the 4th, then I can't do anything on the 4th. So, yeah, they made me work the 3rd.
That sucks. I have to work the 5th, so I can't really do anything on the 4th. Anyways, Jess says, Phil, it'd be awesome if you joined Smoke. I would love to join Smokescreen anytime. He fucking lots of good vibes to smoke. Steph Snow says, oh, thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Thanks. Thank you, and thank you to everyone that's jumped in the live chat. Oh, yeah, happy 4th to Steph. Happy 4th to everyone. Laura says, my town and fireworks tonight. You guys are Jay and Silent Bob. Bill and Ted, Wayne and Garth. We'll take it up. I'm up with you dudes. Yes, your logic sucks there, Phil. My logic always sucks. Bye, everybody. Don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Coming up next week, Joe has a bowel movement on this week's episode of Shit from the Can. Shit from the Can is brought to you by Shit Buddies.
Shit Buddies.
Don't have to worry, get your shit buddy.
Everybody, if you haven't already and you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please share it with a friend. Please play, have fun. I'll be back sooner than later, and Joe will be back as well, and we'll be back with more. More. Bernie's gonna burn you with some fun facts. And our next character about Game of Thrones will be Brienne of Tarth, I believe, and which will be a lot more fun.
Right there.
Yeah, Joe will also have Joe on that one, and that will be a lot more fun to talk about for everybody. And we'll talk about whether you're a Tormund and Brienne person, or you want or you're right about it and you want her to end up with Jaime from that standpoint. Well, we'll talk more about that.
That would be his only redemption, Phil.
If he actually shows her the love that she deserves,
he makes her the princess she should be,
and he's going to, Joe. We'll have more of this next time when we talk some Brienne of Tarth. We'll be back sooner rather than later. I don't know. I gotta find out which. I should have listened to you when you said your work schedule, Joe. So because maybe we can get in here sooner rather than later. But we'll talk. And also, I've got a request video coming up for Jasmine, talking about Bates Motel season 1. And Joe and I have to talk about Luke Cage at some point too. Might be a little bit, but maybe I'll come out and during the Bates Motel one, do half of my quick thoughts on Luke Cage as well. Yep, LeBron James is a Laker now. Did you hear that, Joe?
Yep.
Thank you. Oh, Nancy T. Lots of love to Nancy T. Joe, Laura wants to hear you talking a Boston accent, dude. Can you fucking do it?
It's all like talking, isn't it?
Dude, fucking A, dude. I can't fucking do it. I'm hitting
awesome. What a wicked party.
Walking David. I'm going to hit the fucking sack right now, motherfucker.